to welcome all of you here this evening. You know, 3 years ago, Senator Conrad Burns of Montana, Senator Hillary Clinton of New York, Congressman John Chipkus of Illinois, and Congresswoman Anna Eshoo had an idea. And their idea was to create a caucus in Washington on Capitol Hill. And the purpose of that caucus was to try to help elevate the visibility of 911 issues. Judging by the literally packed crowd we have tonight, I guess they probably have succeeded in accomplishing that goal in a very short period of time. So it's very touching to see all of you here. In fact, I want to apologize for any seating confusion. We've been overwhelmed because it's actually a great problem to have, that we are just jam-packed with people. But I will say that the DC Fire Marshal is here tonight, and I can assure you that we've abided by all the codes. We are not overcrowded. We have a fire lane back there. We've done everything right, so we're all okay. Before getting into the program, and the program tonight is going to be fairly brief, I wanted to make a couple of announcements. First of all, the E91 Institute is a nonprofit organization. Most of the work that goes on with the E91 Institute is actually done by volunteer efforts. And we do have a couple of very talented and hardworking people on staff, but a lot of the work also is done on a volunteer basis. And all of our resources come from those individuals and companies that are interested in trying to support our mission, and we're very, very grateful. We could not do an event like this. We could not do anything that we do, whether it be a roundtable in Capitol Hill, a hometown security event around the country, or any other events that we do or information that we provide, unless we had the generous support of our sponsors and donors. I really wanted to begin by thanking all of them. Tonight our gold sponsors are ATX Group Incorporated, Singular, Entrado, Motorola, Positron, Sprint Nextel, TCS, and True Position. Our silver sponsors tonight are American Airlines, Bell South, CTIA, Level 3 Communications, Marconi Wireless, New Star, Rural Cellular Association, SBC AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. And our bronze sponsors this evening are Equity International and Vonage. So please join me in thanking all of our generous sponsors for making this possible. And for many of you who have been at this event before, this is the third time we've had this celebration of the Congressional Caucus, as well as the third time we've had our Honor Award ceremony. But this year we did something different. In addition, this is the first time we've had a sit-down dinner. This has been very exciting. It's a very large crowd here tonight. As well as this year we teamed up. The E91 Institute teamed up with NENA, the National Emergency Number Association. And we're very proud to have done that. And that's what's helped make this night the size and the scope that it is. So with that, I'd like to introduce David Jones, the current president of NENA, to come up and say a few words. So David?
Thank you, Greg, and thanks to each of you for joining us tonight. Just like in some remarks I made earlier at an event, one of the things that we all share here, everyone in this room, is that we share a passion for making a difference when people call 911 when they need assistance. And so I thank each of you for sharing that passion and being there when we are all needed. I would like to recognize the Executive Board of the National Emergency Number Association. Dr. Bill Munn is our first Vice President. Jason Barber. Jason Barber is our second Vice President, and he had to leave. Ron Bono is a Regional Vice President. I see the gentleman over there. Obviously has a fan base here. John Crable is a Regional Vice President. There's the gentleman. Tony Dunn, there she is. Thank you, Tony. And certainly the last, but not least, is our Executive Director, Robert Martin. And we have our last Regional Vice President representing Canada, Rick Galway, is here as well. So again, on behalf of NENA and the Institute, thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Also, before we get on to the program, I wanted to introduce a good friend of ours. I think Jonathan Adelstein now has a perfect record of all of our events, of showing up at this particular event every year, and we're very grateful. So Commissioner Jonathan Adelstein, would you please come up and say a couple of words?
Well, thank you, Greg. It's great to be here and see so many people and how much energy there is behind all this. I just think the work that's been done by the E911 Institute, by the caucus, and of course by Nina has been so fantastic. And I think that the quality of the leadership is reflected in the amount of progress that we have made on 911 issues over the last several years. When I got to the commission, there was some fits and starts, but I think we've seen real progress, and that's a tribute to the leadership here, to you, Greg, and of course also to the leadership of the caucus, Senator Burns, Senator Clinton, and Congressman Shimkus and Anna Eshoo. They together have gotten legislation done. It's a tribute to you. The FCC's done great work, and I think that this is such an important issue for the FCC. I was able to be at Nina yesterday morning and talk about how central E911 and 911 is to our mission, how it's integrally related to the very creation of the FCC and enshrined in Title I, Section 1 of the Act. And I thank you for all your hard work on this, and I want to, of course, congratulate all the honorees this evening. I've read a little bit about you. I'm very impressed by the great things. I think it really brings to life how important these issues are and how critical they are to people's lives and their health. And of course, I want to say that I do know one of the honorees personally, Chairman Kevin Martin, and he certainly is extremely deserving of the honor that he's going to receive this evening. I can tell you, working with him closely, that he recognizes how important these issues are, and he's shown real leadership, and I can't imagine any more deserving member of the commission. I'm so glad that you're taking the time to honor him and all the other honorees. Congratulations to you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. There's a couple more people I'd like to acknowledge before we head on. One is I'd like to acknowledge Nancy Victory. Nancy is the former administrator of the greatest agency in the federal government, the National Telecommunications Administration. I say that because I preceded Nancy in that same job. But Nancy, would you please stand up? She's done a lot of work in this area too.
Yeah, you're all right to stand up. Is she okay to stand up?
I'd also like all the E911 Institute board members to please stand up for a second so I can introduce all of you. I know several of you are here. Back there is Art Prest, David Elward, Mike Rawson, Laura Holloway, Bill McMurray, Steve Marzoff, Brian Fonts, and also Mary Boyd, who is our new chairman of our E911 Institute Board of Directors. All these people serve on a volunteer basis and help make this possible, so please thank them for their work. Now to get on with the program, I hope all of you like stories, because that's what tonight is about. Tonight we're here because we want to talk about some very unique stories. We have a slate of winners who are going to be honoring tonight. The way our process works with the Institute, we accept nominations from around the country. This year we had nearly 60 nominations covering a wide range of categories that we were looking at for this area. And we have a committee that selects the winners out of these. The group of winners tonight really represent an extraordinary diversity of people. We have some very ordinary people that did some really remarkable things in an unusual circumstance. We also have some very accomplished, powerful people here in Washington, D.C. who have demonstrated a lot of leadership. So we have some really tremendous stories to tell. I'd like to start now by telling you a little bit about the Congressional Caucus and the co-chairs and introduce them. As I said before, it was founded by Senator Burns, Senator Clinton, Congressman Shimkus, and Congresswoman Anna Eshoo. And so we have with us this evening already Senator Burns, and please, Senator, please come up. Senator Burns has been a terrific friend, not only to this whole community in this area, but he's also been a terrific personal friend to me. And it's also very big of him to actually be kind enough to me, even though I'm in North Dakota and he tells jokes about me all the time next door. But Senator Burns has truly, I don't have to explain to this crowd his record in this area, and that his leadership is clearly closely recognized. But with that, I'd like to turn it over to Senator Burns, who's going to introduce our first 4 award winners. So please, Senator Burns.
Stay here. I'm going to go.
Thanks, Greg. Greg has done it. Thank you. That's right. Rightly deserved. Greg has done such a great job with this caucus. Are those our people out there too? Really? Yeah. That's the spillover? Yeah. The overspill? Well, they are. They wave and everything. That's good. They're alive. I thought maybe it was just a make-up crowd out here, but this is a serious part of our program, and Greg has started this program, and And it's been most rewarding because it highlights people on the ground. In other words, everyday people who probably don't know what 911 was, but now that they do. There's a lot of people that think 911 is not important until they need it. And so whenever we start setting policy and developing emergency numbers and this type of thing, we found out whenever we passed the bill E911 that 911 was not the general number across the country. A lot of other states and a lot of other locales had different numbers for emergencies. So we generalized that. And now wherever you go, you can dial 911. And don't dial it on my cell phone, though. And even cell phones, you know, locators on cell phones. Can't believe how many people have said, well, you're not going to put that on my telephone. I don't want people to know where I'm at. And so we didn't do that either. But thank you for coming tonight and your support of this particular part of what we call policy making in support of some things that are really exciting things in our communities. We're gonna honor some folks tonight, and I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about them. This is Jason Connell. He's a 911 call taker from Massachusetts State Police Communications Department in Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts, and the recipient of the 2006 E91 Institute, the 911 Call Taker and Dispatcher Award. This award honors the first responders and the 911 call takers and dispatchers who are on the front line of every day. On June the 14th, 2005, Jason received a 911 call from a man who said his son had made several comments indicating that he was contemplating suicide. The caller had no idea where his son was, but only that he might hurt himself and was able to give a vehicle description. With this limited amount of information, Jason was able to successfully confirm the location of the cell phone by navigating through the various cell phone systems in order to trace the signal. The caller's son was found on a flotation device in the water and rescued from drowning. It was through the direction of Jason and the collective efforts of the Mansfield Police Department and the U.S. Coast Guard, this man's life was saved. According to Supervisor Charles Garrity, the incident clearly displays the persistence, dedication, and tenacity of these members of our dispatch team who endeavored steadfastly to bring this situation to a successful conclusion. Let's honor Jason Connell, this year's 911 call taker. Extraordinary things come from ordinary people. Now, we want to honor tonight Dustin Nelson. He's a 10-year-old boy from Tarrant County, Texas, and the recipient of this year's Institute Citizen in Action Award. The award honors someone who demonstrates exceptional bravery and heroism to save the life in a critical time using 911. Last year, Dustin's father, a diabetic, became unconscious and Dustin dialed 911. Dustin gave his address, described his father's condition to the dispatcher, and knowing the father's diabetic condition, tried to give him juice. The dispatcher asked Dustin to try and talk to his father to see if he would respond. Then, without being prompted, Dustin checked his father's pulse and forehead and advised the dispatcher that his pulse was normal and he does not have a really bad fever. During the 8-minute call, Dustin answered questions, continued to talk to and care for his dad, put on clothes, put away the pets, and looked out for emergency help. It was because of Dustin's ability to stay calm and follow directions that his father was able to receive the medical attention that he needed. According to nominator Alcea Simmons, Dustin Nelson is a great example of how to respond during a crisis. He remained calm, called 911, and described the emergency to the call taker and followed the call taker's instruction. This youngster is a great example of how children administer to adults. Please welcome Dustin Nelson. We'd like to honor Jonathan Yates. He's a police officer from the city of Loudon, Tennessee, and the recipient of the 2006 First Responder Award. The First Responder Award recognized the individuals that 911 called law enforcement, fire rescue, and emergency medical service providers for their professionalism, initiative, creativity, diligence in assisting a person reporting and or experiencing an emergency situation. November the 11th, 2005, Officer Yates was off duty at home when he heard the sirens and lots of noise in the area near his home. He turned on his radio, heard the dispatch give the call of fully engulfed structure fire with people still inside the residence. He quickly drove to the scene to see if he could help. When he got to the house, it was engulfed in flame. There were two police officers trying to wake up the people inside. Jonathan ran to assist, looking into the window and saw the children in the room. He busted out the window, climbed inside, and without any breathing apparatus, Jonathan quickly grabbed a 10-year-old child off the ground and carried her to safety. He then ran back to the blazing structure to attempt to rescue the remaining people. Unfortunately, the smoke and heat became overwhelming, and he had to retreat from the house. There were a total of 9 people in the house, 4 of whom lost their lives. However, because of Jonathan's bravery and quick action, 10-year-old Melinda Torres is alive and well today. Please welcome Jonathan Yates. This is the industry official, Stephen Maurer, the Chief Technology Officer for Entrado Incorporated and the recipient of this year's Industry Professional Award. This award honors an individual or organization in the commercial sector that has demonstrated exceptional contributions toward the advancement of emergency 911 communications. Stephen has over 25 years of experience providing mission-crucial information for the use of telecommunication providers and public safety professionals throughout the United States. He is the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer for Entrado, a global provider of integrated data and telecommunication solutions which provide the core of North America's 911 infrastructure and a wide range of safety and mobility offerings. Stephen maintains an ongoing role in supporting public safety agencies, providing technical and operational consulting for public safety agencies around the world. He has designed emergency communication centers and systems in many countries, helping local public safety and government officials to develop those policies and procedures to promote effective 911 delivery. He is a valued advisor to the government and industry organizations such as the Federal Communications Commission, also NENA, and many other state and federal policy offices, including the Department of Transportation. He is also co-author of the Association of Public Safety Communications Officials International Manual on Standard Operating Procedure, and we appreciate him. Please welcome Stephen Meyer. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. You know, they say an ordinary man works from sun to sun, but a senator's work is never done. I don't think that's the way that went, was it? But it'll fit this time. Thank you very much, and thanks for your attendance tonight.
Thank you very much, Senator Burns. As many of you know, controlling schedules or adjusting the schedule in Washington is a constant challenge, and we have votes tonight in the House of Representatives, so we're going to take a short little break here in the program. Congressman Shimkus has been voting, and so as soon as he arrives, we'll continue on the program. So I'd like you to return back to your dinners. Before you do that, I want to acknowledge a couple of APCO board members. APCO also serves on the board of directors of the ENO Institute. Wanda McCarley. Wanda McCarley is here, and she's also on our board of directors. Willis Carter and Chris Fishley. So please stand up.
Let's get back on your duties so we can see what we can take off.
So please go back and enjoy your dinners, and in a few minutes we'll resume the program. He's from Illinois. He's a member of the Energy and Commerce Committee in the House. Has a long history in these issues, including played a pivotal role in the 911 Wireless Emergency Communications Act in 1999. And has been extremely active in these issues, and really we owe a lot of gratitude to him for the leadership he's shown as part of the member of the caucus in shepherding the Enhanced 911 Act and several other pieces of legislation, and is now very forcefully moving forward on additional legislation dealing with VoIP, but clearly recognized as one of the great leaders in the House, somebody who understands technology and the role it can play for emergency communications. So please join me in welcoming Congressman John Shimkus.
Thank you. I'm not going to start that one's quiet. When I used to teach in high school, it never worked, but I'm glad it's working now for you adults. Your kids will be proud. I have a great opportunity to follow up on the award ceremonies, and of course we want to hear these presentations, and these folks have done great things, so if you would pay close attention. We'll begin with Kara Lusk as a news reporter and anchor for WNCT-TV in Greenville, North Carolina, and the recipient of the 2006 E91 Institute Media/Entertainment Award. This award recognizes the media, I hear talking. Don't get me mad, no. This award recognizes a media and entertainment individual organization that has helped to improve public understanding and support for 911 emergency communications. In February 2005, Kara filed a report which informed viewers that enhanced wireless 911 was not readily available in Greenville, North Carolina. Her report showed that the state had the funding mechanisms in place, sounds familiar, and that the technology existed, also sounds familiar, but that the local priorities needed to be reviewed in order to implement E911. As a result of Kara's reporting, 6 of the 11 eastern counties lacking wireless 911 enhanced 911 went to work and have successfully implemented E911. That's that partnership and working together that we're really pushing as the caucus. In April 2005, Kara went to a 911 center during National Telecommunicators Week